Kara's feelings towards Steven? Is it? It seems like there might be a love triangle there, but is it a one-way street?
I don't think it's a one-way street. It's obviously brand new. She's just officially met him in the pilot, so I think she's trying to sort out what those feelings are, and that's complicated since she's already in a relationship with someone else. But she definitely feels something that's not just friends, and that's confusing.
So kind of on that note, does she have a relationship with Astrid at all, or is she aware of Astrid's feelings for Steven?
No, she knows of Astrid because she's seen inside Steven's head
Right.
so often, and she knows about the people that are close to him and why it's important to him to have his human life and not completely throw it away like most of us who live underground have. So she's aware of Astrid, but she doesn't really pry into his personal relationship with other people too much.
So it'll probably be a while until we see them, that relationship culminate in anything romantic. How much do we get to see Kara as a badass, and how much time is spent with the more vulnerable, sort of crushing teenage girl?
It's a lot of both in all the episodes right off the bat from the pilot. She has her very guarded, wall-up, badass side that is her way of coping with the circumstances that she's in. But then because of how the story goes, we will see that she's just another girl and she has emotions and feelings and she's vulnerable.
What's it like for you shooting the fight scenes? You know, I know there's got to be a big technical side to it, especially the teleportation stuff, but is it also just a lot of fun to get in there?
It is a lot of fun. Because of the teleporting and because we use teleporting in our fight sequences so often, it is extremely technical. But I kind of enjoy that because it makes it very straightforward. You have to focus on every single thing you're doing, and you don't get too carried away or lost in it. So it's cool too because it's a different type of fighting. It's fighting with the ability to teleport, especially when we are fighting other people who have our powers. That makes it really interesting.
Are we going to see Kara's backstory and her own breakout early on in the season?
You will. Early in the season, you find out her backstory. And I think because of the way that the writers have planned how they're telling the story, we won't just do the backstories once. We'll fill in the gaps more and more throughout the season. You will learn a lot more about Kara right off the bat, very early into the season, as well as all the other characters, but we will continue to fill in the backstory as the season goes on.
The pilot seems to be, and well, all the Tomorrow people seem to be surprised by how strong Steven's abilities are and what he was actually able to do. So how do they take advantage of that going forward, or what are their thoughts on his abilities?
I think they're trying to figure that out. I think it did kind of throw them, how strong his abilities were so quickly into breaking out. It's sort of new territory for everybody. Even though we've had these powers for a while and we've set up this underground community, we're still kind of trying to figure everything out as we go. So we're not really sure what to do with it, but we know that, we try to use every resource we have. And we know that with his ability to stop time that we learned in the pilot, how that can help us and how we can utilize that. And if we, maybe know something that Ultra doesn't know, how we can take advantage of that.
Do they ever fear his powers more than they would fear other people's?
The Tomorrow people?
Yeah. Do they fear Steven's powers at all because of how strong he is?
I'm not sure if they fear them more than they're just excited, but maybe slightly apprehensive as to what that means.